Hey y'all, welcome to the Fill-In Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer, y'all. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and yes, we had some very important economic data to come out today, so the market should be interesting, but don't get caught in, on the wrong side of the trade based on the news. Let me say that. Trade what you see. I say that often, right? So again, we're looking at the VIX. The VIX made a high yesterday of 2204, which is interesting that we were at this place. Now we're back down in the $18 range, 1845. So where are the trouble places? There's a lot of trouble places for the VIX as of now. So I would say if we get back above 1944, that could be an area of resistance for us. And again, 1957, breaking that, if we should make it back to the $20 range, 2001, we could possibly have a little trouble in that area. And if we break that area, 2019 could be a resistance area. Now, the support areas here, back to the downside, under 1871, we can find support here at 1844. What's interesting is, it had been trading in a gathering spot. So it's kind of range bound, in my opinion. It was range bound. Let me say it that way. Now, let's look at the SPY. And one of the things that I try to look at when I'm doing my charting or reviewing my charts is, how did it move before the news? So we broke out of a gathering spot. As you can see, this is the gathering spot here. We broke out of that back to the downside only to find support and bounce off of that. We made a high. This is our 830 candle. High of this candle, 585.99. We had a high. However, look how it came back to the downside. So we have to be careful at that, not to know, not saying that we can't go back to this place. I would say just be careful because of how it was trading beforehand, right? So now, what's interesting is, we have this level of 586.08. We made it to 585.99. So that's something to be mindful of. So with the SPY, where are the trouble places? It seems right here that price has been kind of like where that 50 EMA is, that 582.33 area, although we did come down to the low of this candle of 581.50. So it wouldn't surprise me to see us back in this 581.50, just my opinion. However, I always try to say, often y'all trade what you see. So where are the trouble places for the SPY as of right now? We would need to get back above 584.11 to the upside. 584.42, it could be a resistance area. If we break that level, 584.67 could also be a resistance area. And if we break that, 584.90, 585.06, and again here at 585.29, breaking that 585.29, we could have trouble at 585.56. And if we should break that, we can come back to the 585.81. So we definitely need to watch those areas if you're trading the SPY to the upside. Now to the downside, yes, if we should break under, let's say this 5 EMA as of now, 583.34. If we break that level, 582.81 could be a support place. 582.53 could be a support area. 582.20 could be a support place. And if we should break that level, we can come back to 581.77. So I would say, watching the SPY under 581.77, we can come back to 581.37 and then have a lot of trouble here at the 580.93. down to the 580.48. That 580.48 or 580.50, in my opinion, it would not surprise me to see the SPY back in that area. So if you're trading the SPY today, those are places that I would definitely watch to the upside and to the downside. We are now looking at Tesla. It is interesting that Tesla was at $380 and now we're back at $416. When I tell you Tesla does what it does, right? It moves how it wants to move. So we closed at the 403.31 and we've made a pre-market high of 416.79, but look where price have been trading in this gathering spot. So I would say trade carefully, right? Where are the trouble places as of now for Tesla? Right now, it seems like is this going to give us a double top? That's something to be mindful of. So let's say back to the upside for Tesla. If by chance we break back above 413.75, we can retest this 416.79. 417.54, again at 419.56. If we break that 419.56, 422.15. If we break the 422.15, 425.39 could very well be a trouble place. And if we break the 425.39, 426, that's 426.43 could very well be a resistance area for Tesla. Now back to the downside, breaking under this level of 412, we could very well come back to 410.01, again at 407.99. Breaking that 407.99 brings us to 407. Let's see, the ATR trailing stop is at 407.11. We could very well find support here. There's some strong support for me, in my opinion, for Tesla in this 407, 405, 406 area. So breaking under, let's say the 50 EMA, breaking under the 406.53, we could very well find support 404.65. And if we break that 402.54, breaking that level brings us back to where the 200 EMA is as of now at the $400.41. So if you're trading Tesla today, I say trade carefully. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. It was trading in a very interesting place. It could go in either direction. Under the $400.41, I would definitely watch 397.26. Under that 394.08, if we should break that level 392.76, which it wouldn't surprise me to see us back in this gathering spot around the 394 area for Tesla. Again, not financial advice, it's just the market has been interesting. Let's see where we are with NVIDIA today. NVIDIA closed at 133.23. And what's interesting is it seems like all of the charts looks the same. They had a down and found support at the ATR trailing stop only to move back up, and we're coming back to that gathering spot. So where are the trouble places as of right now for NVIDIA? It seems like, let's say back to the upside, 136.18, we could possibly have trouble again, 136.42, 136.67, and if we break that 136.67, we can come back to 137.14 and possibly have a little trouble, or 137.12, have trouble in that area. And if we break that level, 137.43, and if we break 137.43, 138.46 could very well be a trouble place for us. Now back to the downside, I would say under 135.67, we could very well come back and find some support at 135.23, and if we break that area, I would watch the 134.91 area. Breaking to 134.91, we can come back to 134.40, and under that level 133.67. If we break to 133.67, really close, 133.45, that was a zone for us. And now if we break that level, we can come back to 132.89. So those are support areas for NVIDIA as of right now, and it looks as if it can trade in either direction. Right now there was a gathering spot, we broke out of it with this 8:30 candle with the economic data, only to come back down. Our support area as of now is at that 135.34 area. So I would say, again, trade carefully today, y'all. Anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. We are looking at AMD. We closed at 117.32. We have a pre-market high, let's see here, of 119.25. It too looks almost like NVIDIA. We traded sideways only to come down, find support at the ATR trailing stop, only to try to bounce from there. It would not surprise me to see us back in this zone of 115.53, just my opinion. So where are the trouble places for AMD as of right now? 119.03. If we break back above that, of course, this 119.25 is where we got stopped out here, rejected here. So I would say watch that area. If we break that 119.25, we can have trouble again around 119.67, again at 120.02. And if we break that level, 120.63, breaking that 120.91, 121.12, again at 121.41, 121.73. Those could be resistance areas for AMD as of right now. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under 117.79, we could very well come back down. I would say around the 116.97, and that's just where the price is in this area, 116.97. That was a gathering spot for us here. So 116.97, if we should break that level, I would definitely watch around the 116.34. Under 116.34, we can come back to 115.73 area, and if we break the 115.73, we can come back to 114.97. So if you're trading AMD today, those are places to the upside and to the downside that I would watch. I say so often, y'all, that in the market anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. And let's see, I have Netflix. Let's look at Netflix today. Netflix closed at 8:40.29, and it's just trading in a gathering spot here. So I would say it could make an interesting move. You see, it's just interesting to see it where we are now. I would say above 848.87, we could very well come back to this 857.77. If we break that level, we could possibly have trouble again at 864.30. Let's see, 864.54. And what's interesting about Netflix is it's a nice mover if you can get in at the right time. It normally moves. I'm going to go to my daily chart just so that I can look at this ATR. It normally moves about $21.44 per day. What's interesting on this daily chart, however, that 5 and 50 has crossed to the downside, so we need to definitely be careful because it looks like we're breaking out of still to a decline. That 5 and 50 is what I like to see to enter trades, as a confirmation. So I would say trade carefully if you trade Netflix today. It looks like it's been moving in a gathering spot, and which is sideways, and we saw that, right? So I would say if you're trading it, I would watch under the 841.23. If we break that 841.23 area, we could very well come back to this gathering spot here, which is around 834.53. And if we break the 834.53 area, we can come back to the 827.40. And just keep in mind, it normally moves about $21 per day. Netflix is a really nice mover. It's just getting in at the right time and out at the right time. So this is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day. There's so many ways to make money in the market. And what's interesting, or the challenge sometimes, is, finding the strategy that works best for you and having the discipline to execute your plan. I always say, when it goes against your why, get out, live to trade another day, right? So if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.